Hey guys, it's Stardust87 here with a continuation of the Pale Moon explanation for all the cards I don't use. And this video is about the Grade 2s. So I'll get straight out with the Cycling Actor. Cycling Actor, when it's called to rearguard, you can choose any Pale Moon and it gains 2k. I can't really say I like that card personally. It just gives you 2k. It's not really usable that much. I mean, maybe there's a way to kind of use the card with the soul swapping, but I probably wouldn't use it personally. Nice artwork though, but like I said, it's a shame it's not anything particularly good. Next card is a card that I rate very highly, is Dancing Princess of the Night Sky. This card makes my deck live on Grade 2 every time I have it, and I have it nearly every single game now. Basically, you can't blast one, and then you can search your entire deck for a Grade 2 or lower Pale Moon and add it to your soul. Straight away, first target you're going to go for Crimson Beast Tamer. Straight away, you will not go for another target. Crimson Beast Tamer is the #1 target for that card. If you've already got a Tamer in soul, in your hand I mean, or in your soul, then you don't need to bother. I think the second choice for me would probably be Turquoise, then just to build up early game soul for the bringing it out later on if you want to, or even Luckweir's Limit Break, which seems to be winning games for me quite a lot recently. But yeah, you can put anything you want Grade 2 or lower into the soul, and I like that. It gives your deck more consistency, and it means you get to choose what you put into the soul rather than it being a random soul charge. You know what you're putting in there, so it does give your deck that boost. Especially if you don't have Crimson in the opening hand, it means then you know you're going to put it in there. Next page, you've got Drawing Dread, which is when you've got 4 or more rear guards, I believe it says, is it? Yeah. If you've got 4 more rear guards, when it attacks a Vanguard and hits, you can draw a card. It's one of those cards. Dreamy Fortress is the same as the Dreaming Ammonite. If it's moved from the rear guard to the drop zone during your opponent's turn, you can call one out of the soul if there's one in there. Again, it's okay for Luckweir, but there's no people won't attack that. If you do, then you're being a bit silly, especially if there is one in the soul. I don't know why people would attack it, to be honest. But if they did, then hey, Luckweir 3k, thank you very much. Elephant Juggler. I don't know why people use it in many decks. I mean, yeah, okay, soul building, it's good early game. You can just, because what happens is basically when you got that as your Vanguard and you call a rear guard Pale Moon, you get a soul charge 1 every time. But personally, I don't like that, because you can just end up putting a load of triggers in there, and yeah, I don't. That's one of the main reasons why I don't like soul charging decks, because you can end up losing all your triggers, and I don't like the idea of losing triggers personally. Triggers are very important in the game. So to lose them is not a good thing to do, especially early game, because that can only be done as a Grade 2 Vanguard, unfortunately. Firebreeze Carry. Firebreeze Carry was used by me at Nationals, and she was quite funny. The reason I used her is because her with Turquoise boosting her when you got Crimson in the Soul is basically 18k. And that was my counter to the stupid interceptors, which I call them. The guys that gain 5k with intercept, basically, like Gordon, for instance, or the Nemean Lion. And it was also there for Silent Tom. So basically, I would attack them for 18, so they had to go 15, which is a big usage of the hand, or they would lose that card, and then if I had my counter blast, I would use them to draw. So I plussed out of it as well by taking out one of their threats and by gaining a card. That was the main reason why I used the card, and it worked pretty nice from the entire weekend. Although the card below it, Hungry Clown, next card, I was thinking between the two, but I went with Carry in the end. Hungry Clown basically has the same effect when it hits, but instead of drawing counter blasting 2 to draw, you basically get a soul charge 1. The only reason I went with Carry is because I thought hand advantage is better at Nationals, and it seemed to work better, I believed. I did give Hungry Clown a chance after Nationals, but wasn't that successful, unfortunately, so I went back to the Firebreeze. Mirror Demon is basically the mini Alice. It's only 8k, and if the attack hits, you can't blast 1, add it to the soul, bring anything else you want out except for Mirror Demon. Unfortunately, 8k is not going to occur, especially against the cross rides, so to me that card is useless. I can't see any good use of it. I mean, even if you put turquoise behind it, it's only going to be 17k, and cross is going to be 13s. So even if you get a trigger on it, it's still only going to give you 10k guard. So it's not a card I'm going to waste my time on, unfortunately. Have I got more? Yep, I do. The last two, Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Peekaboo, peekaboo, peekaboo. Peekaboo was when I first saw it, a fun card to see. Basically, at the start of your main phase, you can Soul Blast 1 to coil it from your soul into rearguard, and then at the end phase, it's got to go back into the soul. So it's literally a peekaboo for that one turn. It's alright, but for 8k, I mean, yeah, if the Queer's your Vanguard, you get the 3k. However, it's a cost of a Soul Blast, and the way I run my deck, yeah, I don't build a soul that much, so if I were to use that, I would just lose everything out of my soul, really. It was a bit of a waste. I did try it early on before Nationals, but I didn't really see much of a point to it, so I just dropped it out of the deck straight afterwards. And then the last grade 2 will be Seesaw Game Loser, which is basically the grade 2 version of the Counter Blast 1 to take 1 extra damage. At the end phase, you can send one of them back to the deck. It's just the grade 2 version, basically. Again, like I said, I don't particularly like them at the moment. Maybe with the big Limit Break, the ones that are Limit Break 5, I think it might be more useful for those cards, but obviously Pale Moon didn't get one of those, so oh well. But we do get some good cards coming in set 9 anyway, so I'm happy with those. Anyway, I shall leave you guys now, and I will be doing the next video, which is the grade 3s. Anyway, take care guys.